Ooh, not what I wanted. There I am. Oh, there I am. I had my camera turned around. Hi, y'all. Hi, Elizabeth and Junie Tunes. I love your name. Tell me where you're from and any question you have for me. Sometimes when I'm, done with work on a Friday, I'm like, why not? Let's do it Instagram Live. Hey, AJ. Hi, Suzanne. Anybody make any good recipe? Ooh, the Woodlands. That's not far. I just got invited to the Montgomery County Heart Ball. Is it Heart Ball? Yeah, Montgomery County Heart Ball. I got to decide if I'm going to go to that. I don't know. You need lunch prep ideas. Okay. You know what? The person who just said, I need lunch prep ideas, go to my Instagram account. I just finished a series called 30 Days, 30 Meal Preps. And in every single one of those videos, in the caption, I give you the recipe. And most of them are lunch preps. So you're gonna find no less than 15 lunch prep recipes. Boom. Just go look for the thing that says 30 days, 30 meal preps. Click on one of those, click on the caption, boom, recipe. Go to the next one. The cabbage beef peanut sauce for lunch for the week. I love it. That's one of my favorite. I literally was just talking about my peanut sauce to somebody else today about how awesome it is and how I haven't made it in a while. And I don't know why I haven't made it in a while. Michelle, you're from Katy. Hi. We love people from Katy. I have family that lives in Katy. My brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my nieces, they all live in Katy. My mother-in-law. So, I don't know why IG doesn't send me to you anymore. If you don't see me on IG, go. Here's how you get me back. Go next time you see one of my videos, go to my page, click on my profile, and then scroll through and just like watch 2 videos, and then boom, the algorithm's like, oh, they must like this, and then boom, I'll be a part of your algorithm again. Nova Scotia, that is a long way away from me. And Venice, Florida, I bet that's beautiful. There. Florida is one of my favorite places to vacation, mostly because Disney World's there and my kids are like the perfect age for Disney World. I was very anti-Disney. I was like, oh, all these people just love Disney so much. I didn't get it. I totally didn't get it. And I was not having any of it. And then I went and then I was like, ooh, now I see why people love this place. And I love it because you get to go do so much. And so it's one of those vacations where you get to walk a lot. And like, it really doesn't matter if you eat Mickey shaped pretzels all day and Mickey shaped cookies. You can do that because you're going to get so many steps in. It doesn't matter. So that's one of those vacations. It's like, woo, let's go. One of my favorites. Do you have any fat loss questions for me? Cooking, food swaps, reverse diet, anything at all. I'm here to answer questions. Trying to get in my water. I'm on number 4 today of this. Plus I had a hot tea. That was a grande hot tea. That counts. I saw a question come by. Okay, I'm 15. Can I do a calorie deficit? Okay, so here's really my true answer to that. Who is your guardian? Is it your mom and dad? Have you talked to them about it? I would suggest you maybe talk to them about it first and make sure that if you're going to be an account, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, either way, because there's a lot of factors in here that I don't know about you. But if you're going to, I would suggest that your mom and dad know or your guardian know. and that it be right for you, because not all 15-year-olds should be, but some 15-year-olds should be, depending on the situation. So that is where I would start. And then if it is something that is right for you, then you can go click on Getting Started at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, and I have a lot of good info on my Getting Started page. Ooh, core exercises. I have been doing core exercises lately at the gym. I started doing them again. I'll tell you a few things that I do for core exercises. In between upper body, so I'm doing upper body, right? Like shoulder press or lateral raise. In between there, I will literally do standing abs, meaning I will kind of kick one leg out to the side and then crunch and twist. And I'll do 20 of those on one side and then 20 on the other side. And it gives my shoulders or whatever, upper body muscle I'm using a rest while working my abs, keeping my heart rate up, and then I'm ready for my next shoulder press or whatever it is that I'm doing. So I do those. And then also I've been doing leg lifts, meaning I get on that one machine, I kind of hold my body up and then lift my lower legs, kind of just do this number. So that is something I have been doing. Oh my gosh, you're a Disney cast member? How cool. What a fun job. I hope you love it. I'm sure, you know what? I don't feel like anybody that works at Disney hates their job, because if you did, Disney would not be a fun place. I feel like it's only for people who love their job. So thank you for loving your job, and thank you for doing that. How long do you recommend a cut versus maintenance? Should I stay in a cut until I've reached my end goal? Okay, so again, so this kind of, I feel like I want to just reach in and ask you so many questions. Like, how many pounds did you have to lose in the first place? Let's say you only have 20 pounds to lose. If somebody comes to me and they only have 20 pounds to lose, they will probably be in a deficit, a cut, for all 20 of those pounds, right? Until they get to their goal weight, or even close to their goal weight. Because it's funny how goal weight changes when you get close, and that's okay. But sometimes we move the needle one way or another. If you have a significant amount of weight to lose, 60, 70 pounds, I might suggest you get in a cut, then we go maintenance for a while, and it looks more like a stair step, right? Down, maintenance, down, maintenance. So I like it to look a little bit more like a stair step. And the good thing is about doing that is it helps you not devastate your metabolism, for one, but also during the maintenance phase, it can feel frustrating because you're like, my weight's not going anywhere. Of course it's not, you're in maintenance phase. Here's what I tell my clients. When you're in maintenance phase, what you're doing is you're practicing sustainability. Because when you get to your goal, your goal is not to gain the weight back. Your goal is to get to your goal and then keep that weight for the rest of your life, right? So if you're going to get to your goal weight and keep it the rest of your life, you should practice being in maintenance. Well, guess what? As you lose weight, let's practice being in maintenance. And then let's lose a little more, and then let's practice being in maintenance. Because when we get to our goal, we need to practice being in maintenance. Now, yes, when we get to goal, we do something called a reverse diet, of which I've already decided the podcast that's coming out on Monday. I have a podcast. It's called Transform Yourself. And by the way, you spell it TRANS 4M, Transform Yourself. That podcast is going to be about the DEXA scans that I got, and it's also going to be about how to do a proper reverse diet. So if you're interested in reverse dieting and what that looks like and what a proper reverse diet looks like, give us a listen, but it's not coming out till Monday. Scrolling, looking for questions. Hey y'all, happy Friday. I am excited that I don't have a ton of plans this weekend, because most weekends I have plans and I like when I don't. Have you ever had to deal with flappy bingo arms? If so, how did you deal with that? I do strength training, but that part is not improving. Okay, so couple things here. The flappy bingo arms might be because you've lost, like I have clients who have lost a significant amount of weight. I've had clients who have lost like 80 pounds and they have a lot of loose skin and their flappy arms, underarms are because of that reason. That is something that ultimately for them, they're gonna have to make a decision on getting that skin removal or not. But if you have not lost a significant amount of weight and perhaps you just don't feel sculpted, maybe is a good word to use here. You feel maybe fluffy, flabby, those are some good words to use in your arms. Then for you, I would work on getting in a caloric deficit and then properly lifting, biceps, triceps, shoulders, all of that, to properly sculpt the arms. I'm just scrolling for questions, is what I'm doing. Somebody joined named Ricky Bobby. I love looking at all the names as I scroll by. I am at your disposal to answer your questions about anything that's within my niche. Now, if you have anything else, if you have a chemistry question, I can answer that too, because I love chemistry, but I haven't taught that in a while. All right, so since y'all aren't asking questions, let me just tell you. Okay, so I just left a video message for a bunch of women in my current group program right now called Transform Yourself. It's that 6-week course. It started January 6th. We're almost done. But anyways, I left them a message saying that when it's the weekend, I like to, on Friday afternoons, here we are, Friday afternoon, I like to think through my weekend, right? Like, what is my plan? So this weekend, I don't have a whole ton of stuff to do, right? Which means I should easily be able to get in workout. I should easily be able to get in my movement. I should easily be able to do some really great meal prep for next week, because not every weekend's like that. Not every weekend's like this perfect weekend where I can do this awesome meal prep, right? But this weekend, there's not a lot planned, so I can do those things. So this weekend, I'm gonna take advantage of that, right? So when I do meal prep, I still don't overwhelm myself with it. I'm not even gonna go into my own cookbooks and be like, how many of these recipes can I make and I'm not gonna do all that, because I'm gonna pick like 2. I am gonna look at recipes that I have, like my classic lasagna, love that, we do make that. And I might buy this stuff for that, but I'm gonna pick 2 recipes. I'm probably gonna grab the ingredients for those, but then I'm gonna pick protein prep. And if you don't know what I mean by protein prep, you probably should join one of my challenges, because I can take what seems very overwhelming with meal prep with women. Women think that meal prep has to be this hours long thing on Sundays. It does not have to be. You can do what's called the protein prep and really take it and minimize all the work. So I'm gonna do some of that. If it's a weekend where I'm super busy and I come home like on a Sunday from being out of town, I'm probably going to go to the grocery store on Monday and get a rotisserie chicken and some frozen salmon. Why? Because I can throw frozen salmon in my air fryer with some vegetables. There's dinner. It's healthy. It fits my macros. It fits all that. So rotisserie chicken, easy, already cooked, right? Throw it with some tortillas, salsa, boom, you've got a taco. So I'm not looking to be culinarily creative every time I'm cooking, but I am looking to stick to my goals in the simplest way possible. And I do that through protein prep. I did see some questions asked, and I think they just kind of scrolled on by, and I don't want to ignore you and your question. I think somebody asked a question about, is 1,200 calories too low? I saw it. Okay, well, I will just answer that because I saw it scroll by. I can't find it. Anyways, 1,200 calories is too low for most people. However, there it is. Sarah asked it. However, if you are a super tiny woman, like you're 5 foot tall, like you're 4'8", 5 foot, maybe 5'1", that might be your deficit. So it kind of depends on how tall you are. It depends on how much weight you have to lose. Typically, I never go under 1,200. It also depends on what type of dieting you've done before. If you're somebody who recently got off of Optivia, for example, you're like, I have clients meet me all the time. They're like, hey, look, I'm not shaming you if you've done Optivia. I'm not saying it was a terrible thing. What I am saying though, is that it's not sustainable. Why? Because Optivia puts you in a calorie deficit of like 1,000 calories and then makes you eat these tiny little bars. It's just not sustainable. That is not the type of plan I want for anyone. If I have a client coming to me from Optivia that has been eating at 1,000 calorie deficit and they've stalled out and they're not seeing any more results, their metabolism has been devastated. Their metabolism has lowered. If I put them at a 1,200 calorie, so we have to raise their calories. They are going to see a little weight gain, but we also have to give them the right training plan. We have to put them in an immediate reverse diet. Then after that, we have to get after we boost their metabolism, we have to get them through the phases of our program. So there's so many factors that follow into that. Most of my clients are like around 1,400 or more calories. We try not to lower our calories to be, one, I don't want to be restrictive. And two, I want this to be a slow, sustainable process, because the slower it is, the more likely you are to keep it off, period. Okay. Okay, so Sarah says, she gives me a little more information. She says she was doing about 1325 a day, not seeing results, dropped down to 1,200, losing about a pound a week. That's normal, about a pound a week. That's good. Hitting your protein and lifting and walking every day. Fantastic. Here's the deal, Sarah. I would not, so stay, okay. Given that information that you gave me, fine. If you can stay, 1,200 is okay for a little while. We don't want to, if you hit another plateau, I do not want you to lower it below 1,200. I would instead have you just stay in your plateau, practice maintenance, just like we talked about a second ago, and then keep working on keeping that protein high and lifting, because as you gain muscle, you will burn more calories at rest. This will boost your metabolism, and then you'll start seeing that scale go again. But you have to just trust the process and know that that is going to happen, instead of continuing to corner yourself into too low of a calorie count. How can you reset your metabolism? Muscle building, period. Your metabolism, your resting metabolic rate is based on your muscle to fat ratio in your body. And I can tell you that my resting metabolism back in 2021 was fairly low. I personally put myself in a calorie deficit of around 1,400 calories, which is very low. It was hard to do. And I was losing about a pound a week. It took me about 8 months to lose weight, to get to my goal weight. I hit plenty of plateaus, but right now, today, my resting metabolism is over 2,000 calories, which means my total daily energy expended, my total calories for the day, I can eat 2,500 calories and not gain a single pound. And it's a wonderful place to be. But here's the deal. I had to put in the work. I had to put in the work to get my metabolism from the state that it was in back up to 2,000 as my resting metabolic rate. What work did I do? I lifted weight repeatedly and consistently over time, period. And I'm talking, go to the gym. You don't have to belong to a gym, by the way. Let me rephrase that. Get some weights. Doesn't have to be in a gym. It could be in your garage. I started in my garage. My husband still works out in the garage. Get some weights. Do strength training. No less than 3 times a week if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, start at 3. That's fine. You don't have to start at 4 or 5. Slowly work your way up. Slowly have progressive load. Build muscle. And over time, you will increase your metabolism. You will be able to eat more and not gain weight. And that is ultimately what I want for all of my clients. Ooh, yeah. Maybe this is your sign. I don't recommend Optivia. I have a lot of people who, listen, you'll be successful on Optivia, just like somebody would be successful if they just ate 1,000 calories a day. You'll be successful because that's what you're doing. I mean, but it's not like you're pretty much saying, you know what, I'm going to lose weight for just a short period of time and then I'm going to gain it all back and then some. If that's what you ultimately want, okay. But I don't think that's what anybody ultimately wants. What most of us ultimately want is to shed that unwanted stubborn fat and keep it off. And ultimately, if you're going to do it, I mean, I would rather, listen, I did it the wrong way many times. I did it the wrong way over and over and over and over again in most of my 30s. I was a yo-yo dieter. I tried keto. I tried all of those things. And I would successfully lose weight, but I would always successfully gain it back too. So if you're going to do it right, I would rather take the time, do it slow, and do it right, knowing that it's going to stay off. And if anybody here is interested in knowing more about that, go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, click on the coaching tab. There's options. I don't just have high ticket coaching options. I have, affordable options for everyone that are group coaching that kind of gives you a taste. You get to kind of test drive what Form Fit is all about, because I want as many people to be successful as possible, right? Like, that brings me joy. Somebody asked that they're 50, should they be taking creatine? What is the difference between protein powder and creatine? Okay, so here's the deal. So protein powder, this is a big question. So protein powder is either like a plant-based protein powder, there's whey-based protein powder, and then there's casein protein powder. Most protein powders that you're going to buy at the grocery store are whey-based protein powder, animal-based. Most protein powders are there to supplement and give you a large amount of protein for a low amount of calories. So, for example, Sweat Ethic, I use that. Anytime I need to boost my protein for the day, I might have a protein shake. It is 140 calories, and 25 grams of protein for a scoop of protein, right? Whey proteins are going to typically be slow digesting. Casein proteins are actually going to be the slowest of the types I mentioned when it comes to digesting. So also not a bad option to choose. And then creatine is great for anyone, any woman, 40 or 50. Here's the deal. Creatine, so many studies are coming out right now about creatine and how creatine is not just there to help with maintaining muscle, but creatine is also there to help with mental clarity as well. So I personally, I took creatine for a while. I've stopped. I got out of the habit. Should I take creatine? Yes, I should take creatine. It would probably help if I took creatine. Now, creatine is going to, when you first start taking creatine and you take about 5 milligrams a day, and then it takes like a couple weeks on consistently taking it for it to really get into your system, your muscles will actually start holding on to water better when you start taking creatine. And it does help with muscle recovery, helps with lifting, it helps with muscle recovery. So all things muscle building, it helps. I don't want it to scare you away, but if you start taking creatine, you might see the weight on the scale weight go up by 2 to 4 pounds. Why? Because your muscles are holding on to more water. It is not fat. You did not gain fat. It is water weight. And that is normal when women begin taking creatine. But do the benefits outweigh that? Totally. Yes. So creatine is fantastic. It would be totally fine to do both, to supplement with protein powder and take creatine. But listen, do you have to have creatine and protein powder to get to your goals? No, you don't. You don't have to. Like, if you want to have those things because the protein powder helps you get more protein in, okay, but you don't, like, it's not necessary. Just like the creatine is not necessary. So I typically like to kind of keep it simple. The more simple we keep the entire plan for any of my clients, the likelihood that they will continue to do that plan goes up. Therefore, they're going to be more consistent. Therefore, they're going to see long-term results. Because ultimately, that's what we want, is those long-term results. We don't want yo-yo. We don't want yes, now, not then. We want long-term results. So I'm going to keep going back to simple. When it comes to meal planning, I'm going to make it simple. When it comes to macros, I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but my clients don't count all their macros. Why? Because that's not simple. We don't fret over carbs and fats. You know what we do? We make sure we're accurately in a calorie deficit, we're consistently in a calorie deficit, and we have a high protein. And we're accurate and consistent with that. And if we look at our calories and our protein, boom, every time we're going to get results. Every time, without fail. And it doesn't have to be complicated. With exercise, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to keep it simple. Because if we keep it simple, you're more likely to do it. If you're more likely to do it, you're more likely to be consistent. If you're more likely to be consistent, you're more likely to get results, period. I do not. I eat breakfast every day. I do not fast in the morning. I personally, right now, I mean, you might have seen my last video that I put out 2 days ago, maybe. I put myself in a personal cut, meaning I'm personally trying to lose fat during January, February, because I have a photo shoot coming up in March that I would like to be in peak physical condition for. So where was I going with this? So I personally put myself into a calorie deficit. I don't remember what the question was. I'm going to go back and look. Oh, fasting. That's what I was talking about. So for breakfast, I have one whole egg, half cup of egg whites, a 60 calorie tortilla, because you can find them. They're there. Look at the labels. You'll find them. And then 100 grams of berries. Raspberries are my favorite. They have the most fiber. And that's my breakfast. And that, y'all, has a lot of protein, keeps me full, has fiber, and that will get me through lunch. And usually for lunch, I have a stir fry for lunch. Y'all, a stir fry is just another word for a hot salad. Like, put slaw in a pan, put some meat in there, put some sauce on it, boom, it's a stir fry. It's just a hot salad, basically, is what it is. But it tastes better than just saying I'm gonna have a salad, right? I'm gonna have a stir fry. So that's typically what I have for lunch. Yes, I do snack. I have fruit a lot of times for snacks. Don't be scared of fruit. If y'all run across somebody on Instagram telling you not to eat fruit because it's got too much sugar in it, then unfollow them immediately. And then Greek yogurts, those are my snacks sometimes. Protein shakes are my snacks sometimes. I have just a reasonable dinner. And then, y'all, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. I have ice cream every single night. I've lost almost 10 pounds in January. Not quite, almost. And I've eaten ice cream almost every night. But why? Because I plan for it. And it's high protein ice cream. So you don't have to, it makes me feel like I'm not depriving myself. And when we feel like we're not depriving ourselves, it's sustainable. It's doable. Not hard. And I love it because I get to share those things with, like my recipes and those things and what I'm doing with my one-on-one clients. I try to share in my group coaching with them. I have a forum where I share with them what ice cream I am making it in my creamy. I make it with, basically I take the 80 calories per cup, Fairlife protein milk is the best way to say it. And it's the fat-free kind, fat-free Fairlife, 80 calories per cup, put 2 cups in a creamy. 10 grams of pudding mix. I don't care what flavor pudding mix you use cheesecake. Great, you'll have cheesecake ice cream. Use vanilla, you'll have vanilla ice cream. Use chocolate, you'll have chocolate ice cream. And then 10 grams of that. And then a half a cup of 1% cottage cheese. And usually it comes out to like 130, 150 calories for half the pint. Because I share the other half the pint with my husband. I made a video about it the other day, and he said it was delicious. I'm doing an Instagram Live. He just came in.
Huh?
I'm doing an Instagram Live.
Oh.
Feel free to come say hi. They're asking you about ice cream. So I do need to share more ice cream recipes. Do you want to tell them about the ice cream?
Which one?
You have to get in the frame here.
Which one?
We just had chocolate last night.
Chocolate was the best.
The best chocolate
That tasted
ever.
like chocolate pudding.
It was so good.
It was very good.
And I wrote the recipe down on a sticky note, and it's somewhere in my kitchen, and I don't know where it is, but I gotta find it. I'm gonna find it, and as soon as I find it, I will share it with you
I
all.
probably threw it away.
I hope you didn't throw it away.
Well, don't leave out your trash.
I know, right?
Don't
yeah.
blame me.
Don't throw away recipes.
I don't know.
Okay, so we've had that a lot, and then we had cheesecake a lot only because I have like an excess of it's sugar-free cheesecake pudding mix.
That's good too.
It's delicious.
Mixed with strawberries.
We mix it with berries, strawberries. So good. That's what we're having tonight. Is
Okay.
because cheesecake, because that's what we got. But
Do we have
yeah,
strawberries?
we do have no, we have mixed berries.
The
Mixed
frozen
berries.
ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all weird. I like the fresh ones better.
Well, then go get fresh berries if you want fresh berries. All right, what y'all got? Y'all got questions for me? Yes, we do have to freeze it overnight. So I do like a creamy prep like once a week. So I just bought a bunch of the containers off Amazon, and then like I line them up on my counter, grab the container of milk and just start pouring. And then just a little assembly line, and then boom. What's for dinner tonight? I'm gonna tell you what I'm eating for dinner tonight. Let me tell you. I am having, because I've already logged it. Isn't that funny? When you log it, you already know what you're eating. Green Giant makes a frozen rice cauliflower risotto medley. It's not risotto, it's rice cauliflower. But they call it like the rice cauliflower risotto medley. And it's basically rice cauliflower with a little bit of mushroom, a little bit of asparagus spears in it. I microwave that for 5 minutes. Then, in a pan, I put that with a cut up yellow squash. Y'all are gonna be like, wait, what is she eating? And then I put 90 grams of 1% cottage cheese. And then I put 28 grams of Calbit's. It's a certain kind of cheese. It's Calbit's light cheddar. And it's only 70 calories for 28 grams, which is lower than a lot of other cheeses. But it basically makes like a really, and then garlic powder, salt, pepper, meat of choice. I don't know what meat I'm going to put in it yet. I have ground pork already done in the fridge, and I have chicken bites from Costco still in the fridge. So I'll choose one of those to put in it as my meat source. And that is what I'm having. And it is going to be high protein. It is typically, that meal is typically around 40 grams of protein. And it is super satisfying because it's creamy and cheesy, and it's got the meat in it. And it's so good. And warm. It's so good. And so I eat that a lot. I I'm a creature of habit. I like to eat the same things over and over and over again when I'm personally in my own calorie deficit, my own cut. Because when I do that, I already know, like, this meal is going to totally keep me satisfied. This meal is delicious and I love it. Ice cream is going to be this many calories. Like, if I already know, it like takes this, there's no like guesswork. And what I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to eat. I know it's going to work because it's been working. I'm going to get out my scale and be accurate with it when I measure. I do not eat low carb. Somebody just asked that. I very reasonable carb. I mean, I don't really track my carbs right now. I'm tracking my own personal calories right now. And my protein. I can tell you right now, I get in around 150 grams of protein a day. So the cheese I mentioned is Calbit's, C-A-L-B-O-T, Calbit's. Or maybe it's Cabot. Maybe there's no L in it. Cabot. I think it's Cabot cheese. My favorite sweet treat is going to be ice cream forever and ever and ever. Fun fact for all of you. My husband and I love ice cream so much over all other desserts that when we got married, we did not have a wedding cake at our wedding. Because when we were talking about it and we were planning our wedding, I was like, I don't even like cake. And he's like, yeah, I don't like cake either. I'm like, why are we having cake if we don't like cake? Why are we going to spend all this money on a cake? I was like, I love ice cream. He's like, me too. I love ice cream. I was like, great, perfect. Glad we're getting married. And then we had Amy's Ice Cream cater our wedding, and they brought like this giant, somebody scooped ice cream for everybody, and everybody got to pick their flavor, and it was fun. So we had ice cream instead of cake at our wedding because that's how much we love ice cream. Boom. Okay, so somebody asked me how many calories I'm consuming on my cut. right now I'm between like 14 and 1500 calories, which is quite a cut. That is because I personally don't have timelines or anything for my clients whenever I do this for them. I personally have a photo shoot coming up for my business. So I have a deadline, and the good news is I have enough muscle where my metabolism is so high that I can put myself in a 1,500 calorie cut, and then that is like almost 1,000 calories off of what I could be eating at maintenance. So that's where I'm at right now, but it was hard at first because I was easily eating over 2,000 calories a day. Normally I easily eat over 2,000 calories a day, very easily. So putting myself in that cut was tough at first. But right now it's normal since it's the end of January and I've been in it for about a month. So do I feel hungry? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But not like, I never feel hangry. I'm never, like, I won't let myself get hangry. Like, if I'm hungry and I'm getting towards hangry, I will go eat some more fruit. I will eat over my calories that day, and that's fine. Because even when I'm eating 100 over, I'm still actually in a cut because I'm actually still in a calorie deficit based on the numbers. So, how tall am I? I'm 5'7". Somebody asked. 5'7.5". Almost 5'8". I'm pretty tall. So yeah, so there you go. But it's working, and yeah. For each person, it's going to be different. I mean, I can tell you that ultimately, like when it's my lady time of the month, yeah, the week before, I was a little extra hungry that week. So I ate a little more calories that week. So, I mean, same hormonal things that happen to you happen to me. And that's okay. But I am committed to, getting in my movement, getting in lots of steps every day. All right. Well, I hope you guys make a plan for yourself. I know that the weekends are always tough. I know that many of my clients always tell me, man, the weekdays are so easy. Well, yeah, they're easy because they're so regimented. You're in a routine, right? Okay. So like you already know what your plan is most of the days of the weekdays because it's a routine. It's what you normally do. Weekends are a little more free. There's not as much routine. So, this is where you have to be intentional about making a plan for your weekend. It's not too late. It's Friday afternoon. Make a plan. What does tomorrow look like? How are you going to get in movement? How are you going to get in water? Can you pre-plan what you're going to eat tomorrow? Are you going to go out to eat? Do you have a social gathering you're going to? If you're going out to eat, could you look at a menu online? Could you pre-decide what you're going to eat? And if you do pre-decide what you're going to eat, don't open the menu when you get to the restaurant, because if you do open the menu when you get to the restaurant, you're going to change your mind. Let's not do that. So there's what I'm going to leave y'all with for the weekend. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Thanks for joining me in my live. This is kind of fun. I'll see y'all next time. Maybe this will be a Friday thing since I did it last Friday. Bye.